Hi.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Knock Knock Hi, Glauc Talk.
Not that kind of colon.
I am Dr. Glauc. Will Flannery is my other name.
I'm Lady Glauc, also Kristin Flannery.
Is your other name. We're doing something different. New format. Oh, I'm so excited.
Right.
Like sirens. Woo, woo. New format show.
I thought they were warning sirens.
No, like are there good sirens?
I don't know.
Is that a thing?
I don't know.
I think a siren's always
sirens,
bad.
Yeah.
Okay, forget the siren talk. Anyway, we're trying something different. We're switching things up a bit. We're really excited about that because, I'll tell you what I think the genesis of this is.
What?
We never get to talk to each other.
That is true. We are passing ships in the night, taking care of children and a house.
And careers and everything. And so we thought, why don't we just spend some episodes talking to each other about things.
This is the only way people can get us to talk to each other is if we do it through work.
That's not totally true. Just kind of a little true. A little kind of totally true.
That's been the case forever, though.
It has.
That's how we met, sort of. But work at the time was school.
Work, studying and stuff.
Studying.
But then the question is, okay, well, if we're going to have episodes where instead of an interview, we just talk to each other.
Yeah.
What do we talk about?
You're going to have to be a little more interesting.
Oh, I am so very interesting. Especially when I talk about only healthcare related things.
Oh, yeah, love that.
So we had to compromise because life is about compromise, folks. Marriage is about compromise. And I get 50% of the consideration, right, Kristin?
I thought after I saved your life.
I gave you an extra 25?
At least.
Okay, maybe that's true.
Yeah.
But so what we're going to do is we've devised different segments that we might incorporate. We've got a running list of so far 10 or 15 different segments we could potentially do.
Yeah. This is a fluid, flexible.
Yeah. You're all along for the ride, folks, and we are figuring this out. But I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
But we are going to have my 25% of the partnership. I wanted to make sure we have some healthcare stuff in there because it's the majority of my brain, right? And that's what you guys are used to hearing. So we're gonna have some healthcare stuff, maybe some life advice. I don't know.
Advice. Are we qualified
to give
to
life
offer advice?
On some things, maybe.
I
give eyeball advice all the time.
Well, you're qualified for that, sure.
Yes. I mean, we're qualified to give marriage advice.
I don't know.
Do you have to have a specific certification for that? I don't know. I mean, take it or leave it.
We have been together
Disclaimer, we are not certified to give any kind of advice outside of eyeball advice.
We're not licensed.
But that's okay. We'll have fun with it anyway.
Yep. We have been together 18 years, though, so we've learned a thing or two.
I guess the point is there will be some healthcare stuff, some medicine stuff, some non-medical medicine stuff.
Yep.
Life
stuff?
Yeah, just all kind of whatever comes to our mind and whatever you guys suggest you want to hear from us. If you have any suggestions or thoughts about it. So should we get to it?
You know what? I think at this point in the introduction, everyone just thinks we have no idea what we're doing.
Okay, we do know what we're doing here. We have a plan. I have a document that's helping us along. And we love the interviews. So it's not that we don't enjoy doing the interviews.
Interviews are not going away. We will still be doing interviews.
Right. We just
like to play. So we're gonna play with our podcast.
All right. Well, why don't we get going?
Okay.
All right. Then we're calling these Knock Knock Hi, Glauc Talk. All right. Here we go. Today's episode is brought to you by the Nuance Dragon Ambient Experience, or DAX for short. This is AI-powered ambient technology that helps physicians be more efficient and reduces clinical documentation burden. To learn more about how DAX Copilot can help you reduce burnout and restore the joy of practicing medicine, stick around after the episode or visit nuance.com/discover-DAX. That's nuance.com/discover-DAX. So our first segment, because we're doing segments now.
Yep.
Segments.
That's right.
It's just like a news show, like we're.
I'm really resisting the urge to make the sound.
What?
You know that? What's that called? No, like that.
Star wipe.
Breaking news.
What kind of news shows are you watching?
Like old timey.
That's
You know what I'm talking about?
like
It's almost like Morse code.
like
but it wasn't Morse code.
the Porky Pig?
That did sound a little Porky Pig like. That was unintentional.
I thought that's what you were doing. What are you
No.
talking about?
Oh, someone will know what I'm talking
There's
about.
a segment sound effect.
Yeah, from
Like
like
a Chiron?
way old timey news.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
where it would like interrupt the broadcast.
You haven't
back
watched
when there
TV
were
in a while.
broadcasts.
My goodness.
Moving on.
All right, so we're gonna start with healthcare news.
Okay.
All right, we got to talk.
What's in the healthcare news?
So this is a big one. All right, the Change Healthcare cyber attack. I'm gonna assume, by the way you're looking at me, that you have roughly 0% knowledge of this.
Look, I got to be honest, and maybe this will be good for this segment. I actively avoid the news.
Okay. All right.
So
Fair enough.
I hardly ever know anything that's going on in the news unless it is so big that you must be living under a rock.
So
not
all
to
the
know.
burden is on me for this segment.
That's right. So you're gonna explain it, and I get to be, the audience who may or may not have heard about this.
So actually, this is a common refrain that I've been hearing on social media is like, no one is talking about this.
Okay.
And so you're not alone. This is really big news in healthcare and medicine.
Mhm.
Change Healthcare is a payment cycle management company. So basically what they do, they connect the payers, which is like United Healthcare, Cigna,
Insurance
Blue
companies.
Cross, insurance companies.
Okay.
They connect the payers.
Kind of generous to call them payers, but go ahead.
with healthcare professionals, so physicians, medical practices, hospitals.
Okay.
And so basically
Kind of like a credit card swiper company.
Yeah. If it sounds like I'm describing a middleman, it's because I am.
It is, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because that's one thing that U.S. healthcare is really good at.
So Change Healthcare is like, it's like Square for healthcare.
They're the go-between to it's a company that helps medical practices get paid, okay, from the payer part.
Yes,
So-
they handle the financial transaction.
Exactly. So Change Healthcare is one of these companies.
Mhm.
And they're like the biggest one out there. So they handle 15 billion transactions every year.
That's a bunch.
The reason they're so big is because they are owned by United Health Group.
Your fave.
I know. United Health Group is I think it's the 10th or 12th largest company in the world.
Okay.
Just to give you a scale type of thing.
Largest in terms of like
Money.
revenue.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And underneath United Health Group are all these little subsidiaries, right? United Healthcare is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Change Healthcare is another one.
Okay.
So United Health Group, back a few years ago, they purchased Change Healthcare, this company, to do their transactions.
They turned their cost center into a profit center.
It was like a $12 billion deal or something, like 8 to 12 in the
Lots
billions.
of money.
This is monopoly money. None of this makes. I mean, you can't even fathom these amounts of money, right?
Right.
So anyway, United Health Group, they bought Change Healthcare, and what happened was on February 21st, there was a cyber attack.
Okay.
Bum, bum, bum.
That's never fun.
This is bad. Yes.
Not what you want.
No, the cyber attack. And what they did, it basically it shut down Change Healthcare, essentially, at least temporarily for now.
Okay.
I think that's still mostly shut down. They had to shut down it to stop
no one
the
can get
spread
paid.
of this cyber attack. It's like ransomware attack, which
Okay.
I'm not a
IT guy.
IT guy. So
Tell me about it.
so don't hold me to any knowledge about like the actual. In fact, I did find there was an article that was put out by somebody that actually talked about all like the IT related things with this attack, and it almost put me to sleep. I don't. It's very complicated, but ransomware sounds bad, right?
Yep.
All right, so
Something's being held hostage.
something like that, right? So the interesting thing is that you haven't heard about this out there. Like the mainstream media, there's not a lot of information coming out about this. But if you talk to people in like healthcare circles, healthcare professionals, this has been a huge problem.
Yeah, because they
Um,
can't get paid, I
they
assume.
can't get paid. And so I put this video out about United Health Care and the United Health Group, and basically the idea is that they're kind of upset that they got hacked, but also not really, because then they don't have to pay people. That was the
Oh
idea.
boy.
And so in the comments I got on that video, there was so many people talking about how they're not getting paid, how they can't fill prescriptions because lots of pharmacies, 67,000 pharmacies use Change Healthcare.
Mm.
And because it's all shut down, people aren't able to, pharmacies can't check a patient's insurance benefits. They can't process their claims, so they can't get paid. And this is like shutting down medical practices. Like this is a big deal. And will absolutely affect.
So you think it's like a cover up that it's not being talked about? You think United Health Group owns a media
Wow,
mafia
I
company?
had no idea you were so inclined to conspiracy theories. Conspiracy Kristin over here. Going with
I am not inclined to conspiracy theories. I am very cynical though.
So I don't know. I think I think it's probably just so complicated that, because so many things in healthcare are complicated, and the middleman aspect of it. So like you never hear about pharmacy benefit managers in the news whenever they do terrible things. So this is like, how do you describe
No one is directly
this
interacting with
the
the
public?
middleman, so it doesn't make the
Right,
news.
exactly.
Okay.
So it's causing, and I actually just heard, and I'll probably want to do a follow-up skit about this as well. But United Health Group is now like offering a laughable amount of compensation to some like medical practices.
Laughable as in like that's not nearly enough.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
like it's a couple $1,000s a month,
Yeah.
where these medical practices are losing at least $50,000 a day, like maybe even $500,000 a month in medical revenue to the practice. They just can't. You can't function. You can't if you're not bringing in money.
It's a business.
It's a business, right? And so it's there's a lot of anger and nervous energy around healthcare related to this, and it's a big problem. It made me think, what were some of the other like cyber attacks? Has this happened before? And
wait, before you do that, what are they attacking? Like what data are they after?
Oh, we don't know.
Oh,
just that it's just that there was a I don't know if we know exactly what they took, or it's just the fact that this,
because like on my mind is, well, is that patient data? Is that healthcare data that they have, that whoever they are?
They had, whoever attacked the system, they have, because they were in the system, they have access to all this patient data. So I don't know if we know exactly what was stolen, but they had
so that's not good.
They had access to it. And so looking back at probably the biggest health data, patient information breach that there was in recent history was in 2015. There was an Anthem attack. So Anthem is Blue Cross Blue Shield. And this was, I vaguely remember this. I was 2015. What were we doing?
Having a baby. Residency.
Residency.
Cancer.
So I couldn't really.
No, 16.
It
all runs together.
All runs together. So in 2015, I wasn't like thinking about really anything outside of like what was happening in my own life. But there was this huge data breach with Anthem, and something like 78 million people had their medical information stolen.
I vaguely remember that. Yeah.
That includes like social security numbers, birthdays, names.
I think I remember that because I got a letter. That's who we had at the time for our insurance.
Yeah. So that was at that point the largest like healthcare data breach like ever. And comparing it to what just happened with Change Healthcare, Change Healthcare manages or has information of 1 in 3 patients in the U.S., which is,
how do you know if so? Like, which companies would that be? Like, people don't know about whether they interact with Change Healthcare or whether their data does, but they do know who their insurance companies are. So, which insurance companies would that be?
Well, I think probably all of them use Change Healthcare in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
But United Health Group owns the company. But I think
Right.
lots of companies use the service of
Yeah.
Change Healthcare. So I don't know if people
So
are
you
getting
may not even
letters or
know if you're
well,
one of them.
that's the thing. Like a lot of the people are noticing problems. Like they can't get their prescriptions. They can't. They're not able to receive bills, or the billing issues are coming up, but they have no explanation for why this is happening.
Yeah.
So it's everybody's kind of in the dark, and there's not a lot out there, which I found kind of surprising. Whenever I put that video out, I started seeing those comments like, "Is that why this is happening and this is happening?" It's like, well, it might just be U.S. healthcare.
Could be,
but
that is always
certainly
possible.
this is making it worse.
Yeah.
And so as part of that skit that I made, also I inferred that the resolution of what this could be would end up being like, what's going to happen to basically United Health Group? Like, are they going to have some kind of big fine levied against them or legal action? And my joke was like, well, they own like the federal government, so probably not. Well, let's go back to the 2015 with Anthem. Like, what happened to them, right? Can you guess?
I feel like 2015 was a whole different set of rules than what we operate under in 2024.
Not when it comes to the power of these corporations, though.
Oh, well, sure. Yeah. Right? Does it just quietly go away?
So they settled. There was a settlement with the Department of Health and Human Services. Guess how much?
I have no framework for this. $100 million.
$16 million.
Oh boy, $100 million I was trying to be low.
$16 million, which is like a Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
of operating revenue.
Yep. So a tiny little hand slap, maybe not even the hand, just a finger.
And then there was about 100 private class action lawsuits filed against Anthem, which is what I think will probably end up happening.
Right.
In this case as well. And the total settlement for that was $115 million total.
Yep.
78 million people were affected, and they settled for $115 million. So it just goes to show you, like,
everybody got like $1.50.
Exactly. Yeah. And so anyway, that was kind of depressing when I saw that.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening with if you hear about Change Healthcare. I don't know. I don't know.
What do we do about it? What? Now I'm just depressed. This is why I avoid the news. Give me something to work with here.
I think we all have to go completely offline.
Okay. Well.
Well, like this is going to become more of a problem because, well, first of all,
you're not helping.
It's
just
making
the
you feel
wrong
worse
direction
because we're just so much more of a digital society now, obviously, but also healthcare is consolidating in a way that you have
change the channel.
You have a data breach, and it's going to.
This is on every channel.
Affect more and more people. Change the channel. Our kids have no idea what that means.
I know. They were very confused about what live television is.
Yeah. Well, so we got YouTube TV. We're totally changing the subject here,
good.
But, which is fine. We're done with Change Health. Do you have any follow-up questions for me?
No, I would like to move on.
We'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. If you have thoughts about this Change Healthcare, how is it affecting you? Actually, let's get some stories going. I would love that. We could share some of those. That is the one
thing I feel like we could do is like let's get people talking about this so that it is in the news and people don't just get screwed over.
Yeah,
let's mitigate it.
Absolutely. So, how is it affecting you as either as a patient or as a pharmacist or a physician or whoever you are and whatever you do? But yeah, so going back to
YouTube TV.
We got YouTube TV.
Yeah. Why did we? There was something we wanted to watch. Was it the Super Bowl?
It might have been the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Yes.
So that switched us over.
And because we were on my parents'.
Oh, that's right. ESPN.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what it was.
I was using my parents' account
as a 8-year-old man, physician,
well-compensated physician.
YouTube star.
I was still like, I was still mooching off of my parents' Cable subscriptions. I don't know. It wasn't like I was like purposefully. I was just. It's a legacy thing.
Right. You had been on it and never got off.
But anyway, with YouTube TV, you can flick channels.
Right. You can see live TV.
Yeah, and
they had no concept.
It blew their mind
of what that was.
That's the
little TV guide, that scrolls. They're like, what's happening?
That's very, very confusing to them.
So we tried to explain, and they're like, well, is it on Netflix or what? No. It's just like broadcast, on TV.
Exactly.
I don't get it. They just couldn't comprehend.
So let's go. Should we do another segment?
Okay.
All right. Let's go on to our next segment that I think you'll enjoy.
Okay. What is it?
It's called This Is Why You're Wrong.
I will enjoy this.
So here's what we're going to do. We each come up with something. It can be anything you want. Okay. Something we've talked about before, or that you know about me, or I know about you. Just one thing.
I have to limit it to one way you're wrong?
We'll do it again down the road. Okay. It depends on how this goes. And then we have to tell the other person why they're wrong about their opinion of that thing.
All right.
You want to go first or me?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll go first.
I mean, I know what I think you're wrong about, but I'm not. Okay. You go first to show me how the segment's going to work.
You're wrong about scary movies. You're absolutely wrong. They are.
Okay, well, first you have to tell our listeners.
Here's your opinion of scary movies. That they are pointless. That they offer no value to society.
Well, I feel like you're paraphrasing and putting it through your own lens, but okay.
Essentially, that's what's going on here. And I'm here to tell you that you're wrong.
I just don't. That's not exactly my stance. My stance is, why would anyone do this to themselves?
Okay. Let me tell you why. I'll tell you why. Like you should have more appreciation for horror movies. Okay. Because it gets your adrenaline going. Mm-hmm. So it helps you it's exciting. So you get that rush of epinephrine, as you're being scared about a movie, but also it's like a escapism, alternate reality type of thing.
Why would I want to escape to a horrible reality?
No, it's like it makes you think, what would I do in this situation? It puts you in a situation where, like, obviously you're safe. You're not going to actually be in that situation. Mm-hmm. All right. But you get to, in a safe way, think about how you would react if someone was chasing you in the woods.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I've got two things.
So it's like my point is it's a mental exercise type of thing. It gets you thinking more than some other forms of media.
Why do you want to do that?
Like I said, it gets wrapped up in the adrenaline, the excitement. And that's something your brain likes. Your brain likes having...
So you have to be scared to have adrenaline and excitement.
Oh, there's other things you can do. Absolutely. But it's also, you can forget about your daily life. I guess. It's just something you can, like I said, it's that escapism combined with that pump of adrenaline that you get. And you can think about, okay, like, wow, what would I do differently here?
Okay. Two things.
All right.
Maybe three. And people who share these traits with me are gonna know immediately.
Okay.
What I'm gonna say here, which is 1, anxiety.
Okay.
What you described is just what plays in my mind every moment of every day.
Okay, so
I always think about what could go wrong, how I can get around it, what I would do, where is my family, how do I get everybody safe? Okay. Like, that's just a Tuesday.
Okay, but the difference is when you're watching a scary movie, you're experiencing that in a safe environment.
I'm experiencing my own anxiety in a safe environment. We live in a very safe place.
But you're talking about threats that you think are like potentially going to happen to you in real life.
Yes, but they are unlikely threats. That's how anxiety works. Like, okay. If it's not an unlikely threat, then it's not anxiety. It's just your circumstances, right? So, like, I go to a movie theater. I sit down. I'm clocking all the exits. Where are they? Which one's the closest one to me? Okay, how many How many adults are in between our children so that we could shield them if we need to in the event of open fire? Who in this audience looks like they might be the one to open fire? Like, that's just all day long. All day long. So why you want to talk about escapism? Why would I escape into more of that? So that's one thing. The other thing is, I feel like my nervous system, my sensory system, and I don't mean nervous as in anxious. I just mean like my senses. They're like ratcheted up to like an 11 on a scale of 1 to 10, right? Like you know this. I smell things you can't smell. I taste things you can't taste. Like just all of my senses are just like dialed up. So I don't want more adrenaline or epinephrine. That is unpleasant to me. And then the third thing is empathy.
It's the third thing. Okay.
When I watch a movie, and we have a daughter that does this, and you enjoy it in her, but you, for some reason, don't extend to me the same grace about it. I feel like I am that character. Like I really get into it. You know, you can just sort of melt into this perspective because I have a high degree of empathy. And so it's easy to imagine what it's like to be in that situation, what it's like to be in that perspective to the extent that you feel what it would feel like.
You can create your own virtual reality.
Kind of. And that's not pleasant. Like for horror movies, right? It's great for other kinds of situations, but for horror movies, no.
Okay, counterpoint. Wouldn't it be interesting to know what it would be like to have a giant shark chasing after you?
No, I don't care to know that ever. I would be very happy to never find that out.
Someday I'm going to help you understand.
You're just like so emotionally blunted that a horror movie is what it takes to get you to feel anything.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Horror fans, help me out here. There's got to be, I got to find some op-eds or something. I'm sure.
Look, I understand logically your argument that it's a way to experience in a safe environment. Yeah. It's a way to explore a fear in a safe environment.
On a personal level.
For me, it doesn't work because that's already what I do all day long, and it's tiring and it's unpleasant. So we just have different experiences of the world, which predispose us to like or dislike.
Oh man, your brain is complicated. All right. Let's switch.
Look, I'm smarter and I'm better at feeling things. So
tone down that limbic system you got there.
I know I would really like to.
Let's just turn it off. If you could switch, switch off that limbic system.
Sometimes I would do that. It would be nice. Okay. Why you're wrong.
Yes. Let's hear it. Actually, let's take a break.
Okay. Quick break.
Quick break. We'll come back and then you can try to tell me why I'm wrong, which I'm never wrong. Hey, Kristin.
What's up?
I got to tell you about Precision.
Tell me.
This is really cool. It's the first ever EHR integrated infectious disease AI platform.
Well, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's for any specific patient. It'll automatically highlight better antibiotic regimens.
Okay, so it can maybe help you treat the patient better and then also gets at this antibiotic stewardship issue?
Exactly. It basically empowers clinicians to save more lives while reducing burnout, just making their jobs easier.
Nice.
To see a demo, go to precision.com/KKH. That's precision spelled with an X instead of an E. So prxision.com/KKH. All right, let's hear it.
Okay.
Why am I wrong?
You are wrong that being early is correct.
Oh, so your stance, explain to the people, because we go, oh my God. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one.
Yeah.
So tell people the situation.
Okay. You get very stressed out if you are not at least 5 minutes early to something.
I am.
At least 5 minutes.
I'm a very punctual person.
Right. So on time for you is early, which I know a lot of people share that opinion. But I think it's wrong.
We're talking 5 minutes.
Right. But that is early. You have a time that something starts, right? And if you get there at that time, for you, that's late.
Right.
For you, on time is a little bit early.
So what is on time for you?
For me, on time is
5 minutes late.
5-10 minutes. Like it's that time-ish. I have more of the like Mediterranean style.
All right, you
for
guys
my
don't know
time.
this, but Kristin, when we sit down to record these episodes, like we have a start time because our guests will arrive.
Correct.
And I sit here at least 5 minutes early, usually about 5 minutes early. I'll sit down. And then I just watch that clock. And every single time, Kristin just busts through the door 10 seconds sometimes like right, like absolutely right
on the money,
on the dot. And it stresses me out. I don't know how you can live like that.
Because here's what's going on. I'm doing 5,000 things at the same time all the time. So
no, your brain is doing 5,000
yes,
things.
but also me. Like when I get up in the morning, I have to help the kids. Like I'm not saying you don't do these things. I'm just saying these are the things that I am doing.
Okay.
You're usually helping the kids downstairs. I'm helping the kids upstairs. Sorry, I'm hitting my mic. I need to fix this. I
fix it. You don't know this, but I fix the mic before every time we record.
I know it's got a
and
loose...
then you're so hard on the mic that it loosens
up. I try very hard to sit still, sit on my hands.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm a fidgety person. Now you've made me lose my thought. Okay. Right. So you're helping the kids downstairs. Yep. I'm helping the kids upstairs. Like they get up at different times. School starts at different times. They're doing different things at different times. Okay. Doing all that. Then I'm usually tossing in a load of laundry, towels, sheets, something.
Okay.
Then I'm monitoring like when that needs to get changed over also. I'm getting my makeup on, doing my hair, getting dressed, and you poo-poo all of this, but you're a white man. All you have to do is roll out of bed and put on some clothes, and you are socially acceptable. And the same thing is not extended to any other group, let me tell you.
All I'm saying is you have to do all these things. Start 5 minutes earlier.
Okay. No. So I'm just saying I'm doing a lot of things at once. And so I'm always trying to squeeze all the juice out of those tasks. Okay. Right? So I want every last second that I can get because that second is going somewhere. I'm not just sitting up there twiddling my thumbs, just being late. I'm trying to maximize my productivity in the amounts of time. You're sitting down here 5 minutes early just staring at a clock. What good is that doing anybody? I'm at least like getting some things done. Here's a hot take. I think being early is rude.
For what? No.
Mostly if you're showing up to my house or anywhere.
Okay. I guess we come from very different perspectives on this because if you're late in healthcare, like that's a big deal.
Sure. You don't want to be late to like there are certain things that like you expect to happen on time. Sure.
Yeah.
Appointments.
Jobs.
Sure, whatever.
Like you're like this job.
No.
Like recording a podcast.
We are our own boss.
We have producers who are waiting on us.
And I get here on time every time.
Okay, you do.
I show up on time.
It's
I
not.
am ready to roll.
But the argument here is is it okay? Is showing up 5 minutes early versus 5 minutes late? And
I don't show up 5 minutes late. I show up right on time, and it irritates you, which just doesn't make sense to my brain. Like, I know, because we have our divisions of labor, right? One of the things you do is you come down and get this set up. So I know that's covered. I know I don't have to be doing that. So I'm doing other things upstairs, like running the house and, whatever. And then I know that when I show up, you'll already have it ready. So no one's going to have to be waiting on me if I show up right on time.
We've been married a number of years. Yeah. And so I'm used to this now. Mm-hmm. And now what I'll do is, and maybe other married couples do this who have this type of one person that's very punctual, one person loves to be as late as possible.
That is not true. I do not love to be as late as possible. I am consistently 0 to 10 minutes late. And mostly 5. That's my most consistent
Anyway,
number.
what I'll do now is if I know we need to like go somewhere, we want to be on time, I will tell you at the wrong time that it starts.
Correct. With my blessing. Like, that's fine. If there's a hard start time, then that actually helps me. Because then I inevitably end up like trying to get a few more things done before we go.
If you have to be somewhere like 9 a.m., I will tell you, okay, this thing starts at 8:30.
Sure.
It takes 30 minutes. 30 minutes. It has to be 30 minutes. I've learned.
Especially if there's travel time.
Yes, I've learned when, you know, and so.
But here's the other thing with this. I think there's a sliding scale of when it's important to be right on time. I think there are things that it's like, they're kind of a little softer. It's more of a soft start. And then there are things that are more of a hard start. You know, like a physician's appointment with their patient. You should try to be on time.
We're giving a keynote. Have you ever been late to a keynote?
Giving a keynote. No, I've never been late to a keynote. Right? Okay. There are like hard. I have my strategies for getting there.
Is it possible though that you know how much it hurts your husband? That you want to do something. I just think you're wrong. That's
the whole point of this segment.
You want to be compassionate to your punctual husband.
No, I want to help you grow and expand your horizons.
You will not. And your comfort zone. I will never once be late in my life.
I'm not saying you have to be late. You just don't need to be stressed out about whether I will be late. I've got it covered. I have lived a very successful life so far. But yes, I think it's rude to show up early sometimes. Like if you're throwing a party, some of these more like casual things. And especially if you're coming to my home and you show up earlier than the start time, get out. Come back later.
This is like a big healthcare thing, though. And I think that's part of it.
Well, yeah, I'm not in healthcare.
Because, like, every day when you go into the hospital, you are essentially, like, relieving somebody else from work.
Right.
Right? And so if you, like, have a shift that starts, if you're working days and someone's working nights, and you get there late, that's so disrespectful and makes everyone hate you, and they make TikToks about you. That's the way it works. So
that's an example of a hard start. You need to be there right at that time.
I think this is the reason. You tell me it's because you couldn't do anatomy lab. I think this is the reason you couldn't be in healthcare.
The older that I have gotten.
You would not be able to show up on time. You get terrible reviews, and then you get fired. You would be fired very quickly from a healthcare job.
Listen, you're painting me poorly. I show up on time when it's a hard start. But this is my whole point, is that a lot of things are not a hard start.
Okay.
They're more of a softer start, and you can kind of, 5 or 10 minutes either way is fine.
I don't think we'll ever agree on this, but I think if we polled our audience, I think the vast majority of people would be on my side on this.
Maybe because we live in America, but if we went somewhere else, then they'd be on my side. Like if we're in Spain or Italy or something.
People don't care about start time? Okay, everybody from Spain and Italy, how do you feel about starting on time? Do you get there on time?
Well, just the definition of what is on time is different. That's the core issue here. An Austrian has a certain definition of being on time, which you would be very comfortable with.
On time is on time. There's only one definition of on time.
Nope.
This is absurd. It's absolutely absurd. I'll just do one more segment. Okay. This is going to be hard for me. I'm really kind of not looking forward to this. I'm kind of disappointed that I even came up with this idea.
Yeah, this was your idea.
It's called organ discovery.
Okay.
So you choose some part of the body, an organ system, an appendage, whatever you want to choose. And I have to tell you about a disease that has to do with that part of the body. Now, the reason I'm not looking forward to this is because I'm an ophthalmologist.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the last time I even thought about like the bladder?
I know. I do know, and I'm very disappointed because we spent all that money on your medical school. We are still paying off, and most of it went out the window.
So we're going to discover some things about some organs, and I'm going to do my best, folks. I'm going to try as hard as I can to just reach back into the depths of my memory. I'm just going to root around in my hippocampus and try to come up with something about whatever you say.
Okay, I gotta warn you, I'm not going to be kind.
Oh God, I wouldn't expect you to. Okay, let's go.
Okay,
what you got? This might be the only time we ever do this.
Mesothelium.
What did you just say?
I might have made it up. Mesothelium.
Mesothelium.
Is that a thing? I have to Google.
Can we? I thought you were gonna say like heart.
I told you I wasn't going to be kind.
That's okay. Can we work up to this?
Isn't that part of? Is it a
yes.
skin layer, skin cell, something? What is that? Why do I know that? Or it's like the tissue between.
You've heard about it because of mesothelioma.
Well, see, there you go. That's easy.
Okay. All right.
Look, it's just your idea.
Fine.
You did not give me any boundaries or restrictions.
Well, okay, so we're going to talk about mesothelioma.
Okay.
All right. So I've never heard I don't know if I've heard of someone describe it as, oh, let's talk about the mesothelium.
Oh, what do you say?
I don't know. But mesothelioma is a disease, okay, that affects the lung.
Okay.
It's a cancerous lesion that most famously you hear about it with asbestos poisoning.
Okay.
Okay. So that was like 9/11, all the towers came down, all the first responders, they were inhaling all that dust. And then a lot of them ended up getting mesothelioma. And so it's a big, you'll hear like the lawyers talking about it, like malpractice, type of things. Or not malpractice, but, a lawsuit
Workers' comp.
Workers' comp. There you go. Building, whatever.
Right.
Codes, don't use asbestos, whatever. So mesothelioma, God. I think if I recall, it affects like the space between the lung and the chest wall.
The space between.
So like the pleural space.
Yeah.
And you get these lesions that can cause like a collapse of your lung. Mm-hmm. Because if you have space in there, the lung can't be attached to the chest wall. And so
What now? How do you spell
that? And then you get a chest X-ray because all of a sudden like you can't breathe very well, and they shows these lesions in that area, and then you treat it with I have to assume it's chemotherapy, maybe surgery if you can remove it, but probably chemo, radiation. And it's, if I recall, it doesn't have a great prognosis.
I wouldn't think so. It doesn't sound good.
Yeah. But so that's all I know about mesothelioma. God, how about like leg?
Well, again,
neck.
My brain is more complex than yours, I think is how you phrased it. So.
Do you have a lot of anxiety about mesothelioma?
Sure, now I do.
I don't think we have I don't think they make houses with asbestos anymore.
Yeah, I'll just try to avoid breathing in.
All right, that was organ discovery.
There you go.
That was not as fun as I thought it would be.
It was for me. And tell us, wherever you're listening, whatever the comments are, tell us if he's right or wrong, because I don't know.
Yeah, give us. I'm pretty sure I just told you everything there is to know about mesothelioma in that 90 seconds of knowledge.
Also, someone give us the term for that. What was the noise?
No.
Oh,
the collapsing lung.
Yeah. Someone tell us what that's called.
That, and then the sound of I would say that's probably fair. I was going for like a whoopee cushion.
Yeah.
Like,
right, deflating. Yeah. I don't think the lungs sound like that though.
So some pulmonologists weigh in on this. How's my lung collapsing sound game going? All right, that does it for organ discovery. Tell us what you think about that one. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back with a fan story. Hey, Kristin.
Yeah.
How many mites is too many mites?
For me, 1.
Well, I have 8.
That's way too many.
That's a lot of mites, right?
No one wants that many mites.
You know where you find these guys?
I'm afraid to know.
On your eyelids.
Yeah. Oh, I don't want that.
I know, but like if you ever have red, itchy, irritated eyelids, or if you get a crusty, flaky buildup on your eyelashes, could be because of Demodex blepharitis.
Ugh. No.
It's caused by these guys.
I don't know.
Demodex
I don't want
mites. It's just a thing that happens. They're usually not this big though.
Well, that's good.
Usually.
Usually.
They're much smaller than this, but they can still cause major problems. And so you need to go get it checked out by an eye doctor.
Okay.
Don't get grossed out.
Get checked out.
Get checked out. All right. Don't get grossed out. Get checked out. To find out more, you go to eyelidcheck.com. Again, that's EYELID check, CHECK.com to get more information about Demodex blepharitis. All right, let's take a look at some of our favorite medical stories sent to my listeners. So we have a story today from Brittany. Brittany says, I'm a pediatric infectious disease doctor and love your skits. Thank you, Brittany. My 5-year-old recently asked for a turtle for her birthday. Get some strong... We got to unpack that in a future episode.
I don't think reptiles belong in a home. That's all.
Which has
At
been
least
a problem
not my
around
home.
our house because we got a kid who loves her reptiles.
Yeah, this one's touching a nerve.
All right. I'm pretty sure my infectious disease certification would be revoked if I got her a turtle.
See?
Yeah, I think you're in your heart, in your soul, you're an infectious disease doctor.
Could be.
So what could I get her instead of a turtle? When I've discussed with my colleagues, there's a pretty universal look of horror at the idea.
Thank you.
I settled on a rabbit as I felt the risk of aerosolizing the rabbit was reasonably low and could be mitigated.
Aerosolizing? Like turning the rabbit into
like
aerosolized
the
particles?
rabbit like spreading tularemia or some of like the rabbit things.
Aerosolized diseases from rabbits.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
She says, I think there's a skit in here somewhere. I'm not talented enough to pull it off. All yours if you want it. I think I'm going to run with that, actually. Yeah. That's a good one. I got some recommendations, like I should do a petting zoo with infectious disease. A pet store would be really good.
Or even just our own situation. If your kid wants
absolutely
one of these pets.
That's a good one. I do actually think you would identify very much with infectious disease because it seems like they're constantly scanning for threats. Just
looking for trouble. Yep.
So thank you for that, Brittany. Send us your stories, knocknockhi@human-content.com.
I wonder if there's a higher incidence of anxiety in infectious disease doctors, and which way that goes. Is it chicken or the egg?
I have no idea. What do you infectious disease doctors think?
Yeah.
Let us know.
Does a bunch of anxious people end up as infectious disease doctors, or does becoming an infectious disease doctor make you anxious?
There you go. And that's our episode for Glauc Talk. I feel closer to you now. I feel close. I
still think you're wrong on all counts. But
all right.
This was fun.
Horror movies are good for society, and you need to be on time. That's all I'm saying. All right.
No, being early is rude.
So, send us your ideas. Hey, do you have any ideas for segments? We got more coming, by the way. But if you have your own thoughts or things you want us to talk about, we'd love to chat with each other.
Yeah. Tell us what you think. Who's right, who's wrong.
Lots of ways to hit us up. You can email us, knocknockhi@human-content.com. We also have all the social media platforms. We have our Human Content Podcast family. You can see all of their offerings at Human Content Pods. Thanks to all the wonderful listeners leaving feedback and leaving subscriptions. Don't leave those. Snatch them up. Snatch up a subscription to our stuff.
Are you drunk?
God, I don't know. We've been recording for a while. If you comment on your favorite podcasting app on YouTube, we can give you a shout out. Like at OldDion9863 on YouTube said, I would vote for President Glaucomflecken solely for the hope of having a president that actively antagonizes insurance companies. Hell yeah. That's the only thing on my platform. I will make life as hard as possible for insurance companies. Is that enough? Is that enough for you all to get me elected? I guess we'll see whenever I run. Eventually.
When I'm dead.
Full video episodes are up every week. That's another, the segment we could do. You gotta try. I could try.
You can do when I'm dead.
I got. What would I do
over my dead body?
Things I could do when my wife is dead. Check out my YouTube channel at Glauc for full video episodes. Lots of cool
people
perks.
Don't know by now, we have a very dark sense of humor.
That's fine.
That's what you're signing up for, people.
Patreon, cool perks. Hang out with other members of the community. We're there, active in it. Early ad-free episode access, interactive Q&A live stream events, much more. Patreon.com/Glaucomflecken or go to glaucomflecken.com. Speaking of Patreon community perks, new member shout out to Ken S, Alyssa L, Jack K, Dina W, Nico D, Jonathan G. Got another Jonathan.
Hey.
David H and Tiana S. Welcome. Yes. And shout out as always to the Jonathans. A virtual head nod to you all. Patrick Lucia C, Sharon S, Omar, Edward K, Stephen G, Jonathan F, Marion W, Mr. Granddaddy, Caitlin C, Brianna L, KL, Keith G, JJH, Derek and Mary H, Susanna F, Jenny G, J. I can't do it. Jenny J, Mohammed K, Aviga Parker, Ryan, Mohammed L, David H, Jack K, Medical Meg, Bubbly Salt, and Pink Macho. Patreon Roulette. Random shout out to an emergency medicine tier person. Nicole G, thank you for being a patron. And sorry that I can't talk right now. Thank you all for listening. We're your hosts, Will and Kristin Flannery. Our executive producers are Will Flannery, Kristin Flannery, Aaron Gold. I almost said thank you for our guests today, Kristin and William Flannery. I don't know. Whatever. This is different. Our executive producers are Will Flannery, Kristin Flannery, Aaron Corney, Rob Goldman, and Shanti Brick. Editor and engineer Jason Cortez. Our music is by Omer Ben-Zvi. To learn about our Knock Knock Highs, program disclaimer, and ethics policy, submission, verification, licensing terms, and if release terms, go to glaucomflecken.com or reach out to us, knockknockhigh@human-content.com. Any questions, concerns, well, whatever. I don't know. Just send us stuff. Knock Knock High is a human content production.
Knock, knock. Goodbye.
Hey, Kristin.
Yeah.
Healthcare workers are struggling these days.
I know. There's a lot of burnout.
A lot of administrative burden that's driving that burnout.
Yeah, it's certainly a major contributor.
Clinicians spend up to 2 hours on administrative tasks for each hour of care provided to the patient.
Yeah, that should not be the ratio.
That's not sustainable.
No.
Fortunately, we have the Nuance Dragon Ambient Experience, or DAX for short.
Well, is that why you've got your little friend there?
Oh, you noticed?
Oh, I did.
Yes, this is the DAX co-pilot.
He's very cute.
Isn't he? He's got wings. He's there to fly us to a world of less burnout.
All right.
And more efficiency by giving us this AI-powered ambient technology that sits there in the room with you while you're with the patient, and it helps you document the encounter so you can spend more time developing that patient-clinician relationship.
That's right. You don't have to be looking at your computer. It's capturing it for you.
It's great. To learn more about how DAX Copilot can help reduce burnout and restore the joy of practicing medicine, stick around after the episode or visit nuance.com/discoverdax. That's nuance.com/discoverdax. Thanks for watching the episode. You can find more on that playlist over there. If you prefer to listen or you just had your eyes dilated, you can binge full episodes wherever you get your podcasts or join the party over on Patreon, where you get early access episodes, hang out with us, get lots of exclusive bonus content. Hope you subscribe, leave a comment below. Let us know what you think.